It is 22 minutes after 12 on Capital 100.4 FM. And if you're just joining us, welcome to The Society, the show that comes to you between 12 and 3 each and every day. And we are in the program We Need to Talk. And today we've invited a very special lady in the studio with us to talk about her book launch and how she has become an author in her life, and as well as how she has been able to move in life with the backdrop of stuff and stress that has happened within her life. So we are having a conversation with Zvifadzo Mtengwa, passionately known as Fadzo, who is here in the studio with us today. And she has written a book titled The Retrieval. I love the book. I've been reading the book. And I tell you what, it's one of those books that you should get your hands on. So she's here today, and if you are joining us on Facebook, Fadzo was diagnosed with a brain tumor just before her 21st birthday, and that has rendered her, her speech and her hearing just to be off a little bit. So we are here, and I will let her assistant, so to speak, in this conversation today, to just introduce herself as well as Fadzo as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe. Thank you so much for having us here today. We are very grateful for this opportunity. Okay, I'll introduce myself. Mm-hmm. My name is Unopa Makanyanga, and I'm the director of Harambe Trust. Harambe Trust is an organization that has been working with Zvifadzo through the publishing of her book. So with us today we have Zvifadzo, and Zvifadzo is going to tell us a little bit about herself.
All right. So viewers, just kindly note, while we are on Facebook or while you are... okay. You can go through, yeah?
I'm a woman born in 1979. I'm the first one in a family of 6. I have one brother and 2 sisters. I went to the high school in Shavani for my secondary schooling. I like cooking. I like music.
You like music. You like cooking. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. So that is Zvifadzo Mtengwa. And she's introduced herself. She loves cooking. She loves music. And the reason why we had to let her speak, and for the audience out there to listen, is because she was diagnosed with a brain tumor just before her 21st birthday. So that situation has left her not being able to speak fluently and to hear fluently as here. So Unopa is here. She speaks perfect sign language.
Not perfect.
Not perfect.
No.
But okay.
Enough to get by.
Enough to get by.
Yeah.
So at times she will interpret what Fadzo is saying, so that we have the conversation going. But we will have to wait for her and slow the tempo as much as we can whenever she has to speak. So bear with us for our audiences that are listening to us on radio, and if you're watching us on Facebook as well, please bear with us. There will be that slight delay, but delayed is never denied. So we will be, moving quite nicely and quite comfortably with Zvifadzo. Now, Zvifadzo wrote a book, and that's the reason why we're here to talk about. But before we do that, let's have her tell us a bit about herself. She's told us she's the oldest in her family. She's got one brother.
Yes.
And she went to school. And tell us about your life before, the 21st, or before your 21st birthday, and before you were diagnosed with a brain tumor. How can you how do you describe your life? How can you describe your life in a nutshell?
Okay, so just to jump in there,
Yeah.
Joe, just to clarify. So Zvifadzo does not speak perfect sign language.
Okay.
But we communicate with a mixture of sign language, a mixture of, so she can read perfectly. And just to be clear with all the audience out there, the fact that she's speaking not so eloquently is no indication of what is in Zvifadzo's mind. Zvifadzo is extremely eloquent when it comes to her writing. So I will be writing, and those of you who are following on Facebook will be able to see me writing with Zvifadzo, and then Zvifadzo will be able to answer. Like Joe said, it will be a slower tempo, but please bear with us as we make the space really inclusive. Yeah.
All right. So tell us a bit about Zvifadzo's condition. We've been accustomed to hearing brain tumor, and a lot of people might not know exactly what it entails and what it can do to a person. Just briefly outline that for us.
Okay. I think I would love Zvifadzo to be able to explain what she can,
Yeah.
and then whenever there's a gap that I think needs to be filled in, I will fill. But I'll give Zvifadzo the opportunity to explain a little bit. Yeah.
In 2000, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. I had brain surgery in 2017. The result of the brain surgery is that now I cannot walk, I cannot hear, and I can't see well.
Okay.
As a result, I'm not what I used to be, and things have changed for me.
So she's just said in 2017
Yes.
she had a brain surgery, and as the result of that brain surgery, she's not the same as she used to be.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm quite fascinated that she has written a book. Does this mean she can perform very well with her fingers in writing, or does it mean somebody has to do the writing for her?
Okay, so maybe I can just come in there and
Yeah.
explain a little bit of how the book got written and a little bit of the journey itself. So in 2000, she was diagnosed with having a brain tumor, and the doctors had given her a 50-50 chance of survival if she had undergone the brain surgery. So her parents decided, or her family decided, that it was better for her to have radiotherapy. The result of that so she underwent radiotherapy that improved her condition, and but it also affected the nerve centers that control speech and sight and mobility. After that surgery, she got a lot better, but then she regressed again, and then they discovered that unless she was going to have brain surgery, she wouldn't live. So they had to make the very difficult decision. And at that point, it was 90% chance of her not making it out of that brain surgery. So they went through a very difficult choice of making that decision of her undergoing that brain surgery. And they underwent the brain surgery, and it came out successful. But successful because we have Zvifadzo here, and Fadzo is alive, because she could have not been with us here. But also during the period, so she was in and out of hospital for a very long period of time. So during the time she was in and out of hospital with varying degrees of intensity, it was some of the time that she began to pen the manuscript. A very slow and painstaking process, but one that she did finish. She didn't absolutely complete it. I think towards the end, it was more of a dictation where her aunt was writing down the some of the manuscript. So it was a manuscript that was written with pen. She couldn't type because of the her fine motor movements weren't fantastic. But she did pen it down very slowly and painstakingly.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about the book. What inspired you, Zvifadzo? Why did you why did you decide on writing the book? Was it out of pain? Was it out of boredom, maybe sitting in a hospital and going through, in and out of surgeries and stuff like that? What really inspired you to write the book?
I can say that from an early age, I liked to write. The book came as a natural hobby. I just began to write, and the book I can say the reason I decided to write is because I like literature.
Okay.
I like reading, I like writing. So I thought, let me continue with the story. Actually, the story I started when I was 14. I just wrote a page. Then I continued when I was older to write the story, and it became a book.
All right. So she started writing at the age of 14.
Wow. And isn't that so inspiring
Yeah.
that she wrote a page of the book that she then completed when she's 39 now?
Oh, wow.
I think that's such a testimony of how the dreams that we have, even when we're children and when we're young, if we grab a hold of them, no matter the circumstances,
Yeah.
if we keep on pressing in, they will come to fruition.
Interesting. It is Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the Society. It's the program We Need to Talk, and we're speaking with an author, Zvifadzo Mtengwa, who wrote a book, The Retrieval. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor just before her 21st birthday and is launching the book in relation to her life. And Unopa from Harambe Trust is with us in the studio as well, and she's helping us with the conversation. As you can tell, or if you haven't realized, her speech is a little bit impaired, and we try and just have the conversation in as much as we can in relation to Zvifadzo's situation. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. Now, obviously the book started around when she was 14, and now she's 39. That's like about 25 years, all right, to completion. And the challenges have been so many, I know, and you've alluded to them. Being in and out of hospital, at times having to dictate the book and stuff like that. What then do you seek to achieve in the publication of the book? And is it in any way related to her situation?
Okay.
The main challenges I face are from my health. I cannot walk anymore. I cannot hear. I cannot see well. I cannot write, and my speech has changed a lot. I hope that by reading my book, people will have hope in life, in the Lord. There are lots of scenes in the book where you see the characters achieving good results, getting good results. That is the purpose in life. You will get, you will achieve a lot of things. Even if you have challenges, it hasn't been an easy thing for me because of the challenges I have. But my papa said when someone else sits and knows that, oh, a disabled person is within this, that will have hope in their life. God takes us through life in different ways. We will achieve better results if we have faith in God. He will lead us to greener pastures in life.
Wow. Wow. Very inspiring. I mean, I've tried to write a book at one time in my life, and I think I wrote 3 pages, and that was it. And here we have Zvifadzo going through all of this, and she is inspired that, you know, when somebody reads the book, they'll also be inspired. They'll also have hope. And she's talking about how the Almighty, how God can actually come through to your life despite all the challenges. You know, the pillars of strength that surround Zvifadzo's situation, and even the diagnosis of a brain tumor should be very, very strong.
Absolutely. I love the reference to pillars of strength, because I think so often when we're going through very difficult times, we think we are alone. But we're often surrounded by people who are supporting us. Zvifadzo has an amazing family unit. Shout out to the Mtengwas. They have walked with her. It's not easy to walk with someone and be so patient for so long, but they have been absolutely supportive, even with the typing out of the book. When she had finished writing the manuscript, the typing out was done by her family. Zvifadzo also goes to a church which is very, very supportive. That's actually how I met Zvifadzo. And it's people around who have come and they've done and they've stepped in to making the book come out. With limited resources. Shout out to Basil Basera of Lithium Publishers, who edited and published the book almost at no cost, and all his network. And I think, you know, they always say your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize it until you see a situation like this, and where it's people who are around who come together and make things possible. If it was Zvifadzo alone, yes, the manuscript may have been done, but for the book to be complete, there have been so many people who, without any remuneration, without any thanks, have just really stepped up to make this story possible. So, thank you so much to everybody who's been part of this journey. Some of you, there are too many of you to mention, but there's so many of you, you know yourselves, who have stepped in and without any thanks, without any remuneration, have really stepped up. So
it's been great.
It's been great.
Notwithstanding the struggles that you've gone through, but you've pulled through. Now, I want to ask you, Unopa, you have been a big influence and a big part of this book, and I want you to read, if you can, a part which you love on the book. And do remember, we are on Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat, and it is the Society, and We Need to Talk is the program, and we are talking to Zvifadzo Mtengwa, an author, and living with... so now the brain tumor is gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's gone, but it has left
It's left its mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a survivor of a brain tumor and diagnosed at 21, and now an author of the Retrieval. And I want Unopa to just go through a few lines, I don't know, is that your favorite lines? Your favorite lines?
I am going to pick right from the beginning of the book.
Okay.
This is actually what, when someone said to me, "Oh, Zvifadzo has written a manuscript. Can you go through it? You're well connected. Can you go through it and see if it's okay?"
Yeah.
And I remember getting the manuscript in my email and thinking, okay, let me read through it. It's worth just a read.
Yeah.
And these are the lines that I read that convinced me that this was an important book.
Okay.
So this is what got me to reach out to my network and say, guys, we're sitting on something here and it's good. Okay. So it's like right at the beginning, chapter 1.
Okay.
Nina Omoba ran with all the strength and the might she could summon. There was no time to appreciate the surrounding view or even calm her mind to focus. She had to run. It rained harder by the second, and up ahead she could see the dark mass of what looked like a forest of trees, tall and stretching into the maddened sky, which gave way to a thickened white mass of rain. If only she could make it there, Nina knew she would have a chance. On the contrary, it seemed this ordeal was turning for the worse rather than the better. By all evidence, Nina's life seemed to be turning into a troublesome misfortune, an unending torture. The last few hours since she had arrived were playing back in Nina's head, all at the same time. Nonetheless, she knew she could not stop to try and figure out everything just yet. She had a chance to escape, and she had taken it.
Wow. I would admit, and I will admit, not because you guys are sitting right in front of me as well, that when I read the book, because I only got it like a day or so before yesterday, and I'm in chapter 5 because of all the other things that it's a small book, not so thick volume, but I could have finished it, but we had to do other things. But up to chapter 4, where there is Dominic, Nick, okay,
Nick.
They call him Nick, yeah,
Yes.
Comes into play. I was so attached to the book. I could not do anything else. I had to say, okay, let me leave it and let me go back to do whatever I want to do. It is really a great piece of work. I admire you for doing that, and it really is a really good... I am still battling with myself that this, all came from her head.
Yes.
This is a true movie style kind of writing, and I applaud you for it. It is a really, really good book. I am not saying it because you are here, but because I've read a couple of other things and other authors, and I think this book deserves a chance, and this book deserves everybody to read it. It is really inspiring. Thank you very much. All right. Now, let's talk about the book itself, the storyline, the story itself. Does it have any attachment or any links to her life at all, or her situation?
Let's let her
Okay.
answer that question. Hey.
All right.
Okay.
You are live on Capital 100.4 FM. We are broadcasting on our Facebook page, and we are also live on 100.4 FM. And if you like to take part in the conversation, please do so on 0717 777 777. Just send us a WhatsApp message on 0717 777 777. Let us know if you've read the book, if you've listened to the reading from Unopa. What do you think about the book. So share with us on 0717 777
I can say that I identify with Nina in that she uses the Bible. She turns to the scripture when she comes to a challenge in her life. I also tend to God's word, and that's where I get my strength. I relate my life to what God says at times, and it is the character I connect with in my book.
Okay. So she identifies with Nina, how she turns to the scripture in terms of troubles. Wow. So it is almost like when she's writing this Nina character, she is most probably writing about herself in one way or the other.
Isn't that so
It
amazing?
is very amazing. And this is your first book? No other book has been written? Nothing else has been published out there? This would be the very first book Zvifadzo Mtengwa will be known about? Or it is it's the first of many to come?
Yes, this is my first book.
All right. You are on Capital 100.4 FM,
I
Harare.
hope to release a new book.
Okay.
It's going to be a biography,
Wow.
a book that will tell about my life.
Wow.
That's the next book I want to work on.
Great. A biography. I cannot wait to start reading that one. It surely sounds like it's going to be really, really intriguing. I like the use of, her language in the book. It is not every day you meet great authors who have, the greatest command of the English language. And she did that. And when I went through, you don't have to read 20 pages in a book. 4 chapters is all you need to tell that this is
Absolutely.
a great book, and I can testify to that.
Absolutely.
So it is a really, really great honor to have met you, Zvifadzo. I wish you all the best in anything you want to do, and the sky is the limit. There is no holding back. This thing is just, a temporary hurdle. You've gone, over it, and now your life begins. And I wish anybody could just get a hold of that book. So has the book been published? We want to talk about the...
Absolutely.
We want to talk about the book launch.
Absolutely.
When is the book launch happening?
So the book launch is on Friday the 26th. That's this Friday. And it's going to be in Mount Pleasant at the Harambee Trust offices. And it's starting at 2:30 and going to 5 o'clock
Okay.
in the afternoon. So it is... It's at a cost of $20, but it's 20 RTGS, and that's for a signed copy of
Okay.
the book. As you
All
can
right.
see, that's
All right.
Zvifadzo's signature there.
Okay, cool.
So a signed copy of the book it's just a celebration of how far she's come, because we really believe that it is a book launch, because we're launching this out to society, to global society, to say that this is something that is worth celebrating. Yes.
All right. So we cannot wait for the 26th at Harambee Trust offices.
Yes.
Where is that? You mentioned?
In Mount Pleasant,
Mount
number
Pleasant.
8 Westboro Road in Mount Pleasant. If you go to the Harambee Trust Facebook page, you will find all the details on how to communicate or how to get in touch with somebody who can help you book your ticket and reserve your place for that launch.
All right. So it's at Harambee Trust offices in Mount Pleasant on the 26th of July. That's when the book launch is going to happen. Do drag yourself or get yourself to Harambee Trust offices. I'm saying this because we don't have a lot of readers in the society. we have a lot of people just, they would prefer watching something on TV or hearing an audio book or something like that. That's why I'm saying drag, because this is going to be the best book that you've ever picked up in this year. The Retrieval by Zvifadzo Mtengwa is a great book, and I believe it deserves all the praises that it can get out there. So get yourself a copy and start reading it today, and I know for a fact you will send me feedback on how good this book is. So Zvifadzo, I want to give you this opportunity to say a few words to anybody out there whichever situation they are in, and how best they can overcome it, and probably by just doing the best of what you really love.
I would like to encourage those who want to read, whatever you're facing at the moment should not be your block. It shouldn't block anything in your life. I want to encourage those who want to take on writing but are facing challenges in their lives. You can do it. My last word is that do not fear, do not let anything put you down. God gave you the talent. You have the power to do it.
Wow. Thank you very much. Do not fear. God gave you the power to do it. Words coming from Zvifadzo Mtengwa, author of the book The Retrieval. She will be launching a book on the 26th of July 2019 at Harambee Trust offices in Mount Pleasant. If you don't know where that is, send us a message on 0717 777 777. We'll give you the directions, or you can Google. You can find them on Facebook or any social platform. Just type in Harambee Trust offices and you will find your way there and get a copy from the book The Retrieval from Zvifadzo Mtengwa. It has been a pleasure to have you alongside Unopa. Continue doing this work. It is amazing.
Thank you very much.
It is amazing. And to everybody who has contributed to the book and to where it is right now until to the launch, thank you very much. You guys deserve a pom-pom. We, as you said, we cannot mention all of them, but they have come through and assisted, not only because of her situation, but because they've realized the potential within the book. At times we do tend to offer help because, you know what, we're feeling a little bit sorry, but no, you didn't do this because of that. You did this because you actually realized the potential. Absolutely. So thank you very much for everything that you have done, and I wish you all the best in all your endeavors. That includes you, Onopa, and Zvifadzo. All right. Thank you very much. We're going to go out with the music of Nora Jones, and she says, "Come away with me." So come away with me, and let's have a part of Fadzo's life as we read this book, The Retrieval. So do get yourself a copy, and I tell you, you would not be disappointed. It is 5 minutes before we get to 1 o'clock on Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat.